Would you like to know what it takes to get from internet star to criminal? One night they arrest a TikTok star who emerged infamous on the app for far being the type of recognition he wanted. Known as Mama Guy, his arrest brought a lot of emotions to social networks. His fans did not believe it, and all the critics were right. By the time the police arrested him, the tantalizing and traumatized public was able to see things that they were never supposed to know that were hidden under videos going viral and garnering hundreds of thousands of views. What led to his downfall? What, in this case, could he have been concealing behind the camera screen? One of the things about social media is that often it's a stage where reality takes a backseat, where people are essentially actors playing roles that are relatable for viewers, maybe a world away from who they are off-screen. Sometime prior to their death, all of these beloved personas were shedding themselves into the light. But what happens when one of these beloved personas turns out to be concealing a dark side? Yes, this is the shocking tale of a Korean influencer widely known online as the Mama Guy. Having more than 55 million followers, Jeong became a household name within Korea and all over the world, even taking down the followers of global stars BTS. And Sun wasn't a K-pop star or an actor. He was a college student who recognized an opportunity to entertain during the pandemic in 2020, when the world was stuck inside and TikTok was turning into the hottest thing on the internet. His videos were initially simple skits posted to his college's extracurricular activities, but his relatable humor, youthful charm, and comedic character jumped out. As notorious uselessly ram bloggers go, Sun has a great hit on his hands. Within only a year, he went from having 0 followers to 30 million. His rise to fame was marked by lighthearted comedy and an unforgettable catchphrase, a childlike, high-pitched shout of "Mama." Through his endearing quirk, he earned himself the nickname the Mama Guy and an outpouring of followers that all loved his funny sketches and energetic style. His daily uploads kept his audience hooked, and he also made collaborations with plenty of celebrities that kept growing his appeal. By the time he was 26, Sun had established himself as an international star, and Mama had become as much of a byword as his boyish grin and silly antics. But in July 2023, fans noticed something odd. Sun abruptly disappeared from social media. His TikTok account went quiet, and neither he nor his management offered an explanation. His absence stretched on, and speculation began to spread. Was he taking a break, or was something deeper at play? By December 2023, any hopes that he would soon return were shattered when disturbing news broke across major outlets. A popular public figure was reportedly under investigation for a serious crime, and although initial reports kept his identity hidden, viewers were quick to deduce that the face behind the blurred screen was none other than Jeong. For fans, the revelation was a staggering blow. The young man they had idolized was now entangled in a scandal that cast a shadow over his clean-cut, humorous persona. Questions flooded social media. What crime could someone so beloved have committed? How could the Mama Guy be linked to such dark allegations? The audience that once cheered his lighthearted Mama catchphrase was now left wondering what lay beneath the surface of the character they had come to adore. Most unsettling is how the on-screen personality compared to what is now taking place. Sun's rise to the top has been meteoric. First as a mere TikTok entertainer, then a national presence, thanks to the approachable charisma he projected on screen. The Mama Guy caught on because people could relate to him. He wasn't some out-there guy, eccentric with a humorous bent. He was just an ordinary guy with a funny twist of fate. What sold him was his simplicity. He was so accessible, relatable, and you could tell that he was himself when he would get goofy. What, however, was a gap between the character he seemed to portray and the reality he tried to hide. But behind the millions of likes, views, and smiling photos, it seems its darker truths were buried. The true extent of the allegations were clouded while his fans waited to hear answers. The illusion was irrevocable for millions. The character trait that once we regarded as simple ended up looking extremely sinister. Was Sunwon Jeong using the persona as his shield to hide a darker truth? It seems to sit comfortably around him, as the world grapples with not just whether Sun is innocent or guilty, but why anyone would trust them with wielding that much power over their lives. So how exactly did the mama guy find itself here? Is the character fans loved up to that point really that different from the man? In examining Sunwon Jeong's life, one thing becomes clear. Often, social media's illusion conceals reality, so what we see online is different from truth. It wasn't sudden fame and money that changed Sunwon Jeong's way of living. He was following a very unhealthy lifestyle, often going to pubs, partying, and drinking with his friends. This was a drastic change for someone who once had to seek permission from his parents to go out alone. Now he was living a high society life, filled with parties, intoxication, and casual encounters, heavily influenced by his circle of friends. These so-called friends often encouraged him towards this lifestyle. Their influence was strong, leading him down a path that would ultimately destroy the reputation and success he had worked hard to build. Surrounding himself with people who only wanted to enjoy his fame and money, Sunwon Jeong ended up losing control. In July 2023, during a social gathering with his friends, he noticed a beautiful girl in the club. It's unclear if he knew her beforehand, but his attraction was instant. He approached her, initiating a conversation confidently, thanks to his fame and perhaps his looks as well. However, the intentions of Sunwon Jeong and his friends toward the girl were far from noble. They were trying to get closer to her with motives beyond friendship. Realizing she wasn't interested, they decided to keep her engaged and continued to offer her drinks until she was borderline unconscious. Eventually, they took her to Sunwon Jeong's friend's house. Throughout the night, they crossed every boundary, disregarding the fact that she could be someone's daughter, sister, or even wife. The next morning, as she regained consciousness, she heard them laughing and saw them taking pictures. When she fully came to her senses, the reality of what had happened struck her. She only suggested she ran from Sunwon Jeong's friend's house and arrived at Seoul's Gangnam police station without a moment's delay. She could not remember precisely what she had done to this man due to the alcohol, but sure enough, she remembered everything and told the police what had happened. Korea takes such cases seriously, so the investigation started right away and was conducted very delicately to keep the details from leaking to the public too soon. Sunwon Jeong was a prime suspect, but when police arrived at his house, he wouldn't open it. They eventually forced entry with the help of the fire department and arrested him. It was too late, even if everything had been consensual. Now, as we read this story, we need to come to terms with the fact that not prosecuting these men was the wrong thing to do, and that we as a society must protect, support, and respect all women's rights, safety, and boundaries. No one should ever feel unsafe or not respected, and it's every one of our responsibilities to show them that this is the case in every interaction. We need to stand against all manner of abuse, and the truth should be that no amount of fame, power, or influence is a reason to violate someone's personal boundaries. Each and every one of us is a part of a society in which we are all meant to feel secure and heard, and where everyone has value. If you can relate with this message, you might want to spread this story and support a culture of respect and safety. Let's do this together and raise awareness and start conversations about consent, the boundaries of what's okay and not okay, and accountability. Let's change something in our communities, starting with ourselves.